Is this thing on? Hello there folks, it's TechnoJock here on Forever Stranded, and I have been taking care of some things over here. I've got this connected up now with another storage bus on this, and it's a blood moon, so I'm afraid I can't do very much about the noise just now, sorry about that guys. But yeah, I've got a storage bus on this drawer controller, so all of these lovely goodies are now available in our Applied Energistics ME system. This is going down at the moment. I have set up a thing. These are... grab these. You can use these to make liquid XP in the vat from Ender.io. Pretty simple. Fluid tank, furnace, cauldron, some electrical steel, and we're all good on that front. So rather than having stacks and stacks, because this was actually overflowing and it was backed up in here and it completely filled up this system here. So now I have got the vat set up over here, and it is happily exporting stuff here. We're going to get to export buses later on this episode, maybe not that later on, but we're going to be exporting these into here, and melted or dissolved in water it gives us liquid XP, which is going into this experience obelisk. That's pretty easy, and let's have a look at the experience obelisk. So experience obelisk there, just some solarium and this experience rod thing. Alright, okay, you can do some cool stuff with that with liquid XP as well, but we don't need it now because we've got this solarium energetic alloy, and then machine chassis, and the solarium gives us this thing here. So it's just punting all that in, and you can see it happily going up, and it's got 125 levels in there, so we can use that for all sorts of enchanting goodness. And I'm not going to lose my levels. As you can see, I have got rid of all of mine into here. But it's a matter of just coming over here and saying I want to retrieve 1 level. You can see 1 level there, 10 levels, or all of the levels. And you can see how quickly this is actually punting the levels in here. It's as if we had a mob farm running completely. Well, we do have a mob farm running. I suppose it's over there. So, yeah, that's all going nicely. And it is supplied with not an ender chest, the tooltip is incorrect, but an ender tank there, which is pumping the water in. I did some changes around here. I got rid of the reservoir that was here and swapped it out. Remember, we have the infinite water source block from pressure pipes under here. Well, I swapped those two over because that reservoir couldn't keep up with this demand for the water. And in fact, it emptied the reservoir and I had to refill it again to make it back into an infinite water source block. So I've swapped them over, so this is now supplying our clay making here and our thirst quencher refiller thing, and now that. So we've now got infinite water source there in that ender tank that we can then put about. So that's actually a little bit better that way around, I think. And that's that just now. So I've got a couple of things I'm wanting to do. So I want to make an interface. Oh, in fact, I've actually made an interface. Let's make this into the small form factor one and slap it. Yeah, I'm going to slap it on the... Actually, no, it needs to be the big one. It needs to be the big one. Let's pull that off of there. Turn it back into one of the big ones. Easy as that. And we're going to put it there. And it's going to supply this. So we're going to configure this, and it's going to be push-pull. Cool. And one of the things I want to do, actually, is I always wanted to have some flint. Let's just say I always want to have half a stack of flint in here. There we go. And it will... See, that's going to pull in the flint there and keep this supplied. Now when I go like this, that will connect up. This should be online, and that's now got 32 flint. That keeps that supplied at all times. And now also, when I grind something up, let's get the noise, honestly. When I get some coal, put it in here. It's going to grind this up and it's going to make coal dust and sulfur sometimes. But it's getting pushed into the interface there, and it is immediately getting put into our system. Very happy with that. Now I actually want to set this up as a processing pattern. So I do want to actually say one coal, and if I do coal dust, get this, and say, right, one coal equals one coal dust. Encode that, thank you. And put this into this system here. No, I don't want to do it. That's the wrong place. Put it in there for the pattern. It now knows to make one coal dust, or pulverized coal, it just needs to put one coal into that machine. So if I say now, we've got plenty, but if I middle click on that, you see, I can tell it to make some. How cool's that? Very cool. And the reason I want to do that is because I'm wanting to teach it how to make dark steel. And dark steel... Oh, compressed husk fell out of the world. Why are they falling out of the world? Oh, it's because it's the end of the blood moon and they timed out. That's why. That's why it did that. So yes, if I do dark steel, in here... iron, coal dust, and obsidian. So I was just told how to make coal dust. We've always got obsidian on hand. We've got plenty of iron. So if I go one iron, coal dust, and obsidian, yeah, like this, and say, clear that out and say one iron, one coal dust, one obsidian. I'll come back to that. Put it in here. Iron, coal dust, obsidian. It's going to make the dark steel. And push it back into the system. All good. And if I search, I already had some dark steel actually, but that's cool. And I say it makes one dark steel. Let's encode that pattern. Put that back in there. Clear that out. And now... oh, I already had it. Well, that's fine. I will clear that pattern. That's how you clear a pattern. Just put it back into your crafting window. So now we can actually order up some dark steel. That's not, yep. So if I middle click on that, cool, we can order up lots of dark steel. And even if I say something like 100, which is a ridiculous amount, it knows, well, we've already got 100, so let's say 1,000. I'm not going to make 1,000, but yeah, it knows to craft 857 pulverized coal, because that's what it needs. Cool. Right, let's cancel out of that, because dark steel is not the ultimate aim of this. Ultimate aim of this is to get some whatchamacallit, reinforced obsidian. So if I say I want the dark steel again, because there's one other thing I need to teach it how to make, and we need to make a crafting pattern this time, and we need to... why is it not going to tell me? There we go. That's what I wanted to do. I had to drag it around left clicking it. And we can encode that pattern, and we'll come over to this, the molecular assembler, and we'll tell it you can craft 16 dark iron bars with 6 dark steel. And now the next thing to say is reinforced obsidian. And there's two kinds of reinforced obsidian. There's the Ender.io stuff, and it does say weatherproof. There's other stuff here which is similar. There's reinforced obsidian from Tiny Progressions, but it needs 6 heavy engineering blocks, aluminium and iron sheet metal. And it's a little bit of a rabbit's, a rabbit's warren of stuff to craft for that. This is probably more expensive, but ultimately easier to do. So if I say dark, I'll need to do dark steel. steel. Let's order up another 10. It's going to do that just now, and I also need to do one of that. So that's, I don't have, oh no, crafting CPUs are available because we are out of stuff. Crafting status, crafting 8 of them. So that's how you check there as well, how to see what is actually crafting and what stage it's at. You can keep an eye on things going there, which is very, very cool. I like that a lot. Yeah, I'm just going to have to wait for that to do. In just a second, it's not going to take very long, so we're going to be doing that. Other things I have of me, whilst that's doing, I have a matter condenser, and I want myself an export bus. No, it's not going to give me that. Export bus. So I want to make one of these, one of those formation cores that we know from making storage buses and interfaces. So I want that, and can I make acceleration cards? I can make one. That'll do. I think that will do. Let's grab ourselves some cobblestone as well. Because I want to set this down here. Here, 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 here. Or let's put it down here. Here will do. Perfect. Yeah, that'll do. Now I want to put that on there, and then I want to set this to cobblestone with the acceleration card, because that will, oh, and I need to make a storage thing, don't I? So no, I don't want it to, no. So yeah, stop doing that. Yeah, because I don't want it binning the cobblestone. I want to make a storage cell, and I think I need, I'm wanting to make one of the things from Applied Energetics. Let's have a look and see. We want to make I'm trying to remember the name of it. You need these things, quantum link chamber, that's what it is. Quantum link chamber, and you need to, it allows us to link our ME system across to the city. I was talking about making a second ME system, but there's so much stuff here, and we've got so much stuff being made here that I do want access to it, at least in the short term. So a quantum link chamber is required. So we need a quantum ring, and it needs an energy cell, dense flux cable. We can make all of these things. That shouldn't be too difficult. Yeah, that's pretty easy to make. We've got access to all of that just now. The dense flux cable is not too difficult. It's a little bit of a rabbit hole to go down. And the quantum link chamber shouldn't be too difficult as well. Again, a reasonable amount of resources, but still all doable. But what we do need to link the two together is a quantum entangled thingamajigger, and I'm looking for it just now. Is that it? Quantum entangled singularity, and you need to make a singularity and then explode it, or have an explosion nearby, and it splits it into two, and then you have them quantum entangled, and you put one on one side of the remote system and one on the other, and it links the two. So that's what we want. So it needs a 64K ME storage cell. That's what we need. Cool. That's what I needed to know. So I need to have 64K. If I do like that, then we know we need to make all of this stuff, which is quite a bit. So we need 3 16Ks, which each need 3 4Ks, and then each of those need 1Ks, and then we need to go down into the logic processor. So we need quite a bit of stuff, so it's probably a good idea to start on getting that automated. Our dark steel should be finished as well. So if I say dark, and we craft up one of those, because we'll need that, that's fine. And the other thing I'll need to do is we don't have that set up yet in any kind of crafting. I'm going to just actually make myself one as well, so we don't have the dark steel automatically compacted. But that's not an issue just now. Let's put that in there. Getting a bit jumpy frame rate just now. Don't know why. It's that thing busy growing trees. Okay, so now if we say, oh no, it's reinforced obsidian, go like that, and we can encode that now. Cool. So the system knows how to make dark steel. It knows how to make pulverized coal to make the dark steel. It knows how to make dark iron bars. It knows how to make blocks of dark steel. And now it knows how to make reinforced obsidian. So I need 9 reinforced obsidian. And if I go like this and say 9 please, it's got all the bits, or it knows how to make all the bits. So it knows it needs to make 193 pulverized coal, to make 326 dark steel, to make the 35 dark steel blocks and the 32 dark iron bars, blah 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 blah. But it doesn't have sufficient crafting CPUs. Why, Techno, I hear you shout, you've got a crafting CPU right there. Well, the reason is, if I go reinforced, if I go to make 1, or 2 rather, if I do that, it can do it, no bother at all, because it's got 313 bytes used to make that. If I go to make 9, it's using 2,321 bytes, and that is only, what, 4K? 1K. So it's more than double what it can store. So that's why that is. So we really are in a situation where we need to start crafting stuff automatically. So it's these things, these inscribers. That's what we need to do. So we'll be back in a moment once I've got a little bit of a setup for how we're going to do that. Here we go then. I've got a small setup here. I'm going to go over this because I had to rewire a fair bit of stuff. But I'm just about to access this interface and put my other encoded pattern in here for the engineering processor. I've already got the printed calculation circuit for it that I need for this bit. All I'm going to do is pop it in here, and you'll see it disappears out of here and it goes in here, and there you go, it just got crafted there. Just a second ago it got pulled out. So what I've got here is the interface is here, and we'll have the patterns for all 3 circuits once I go and retrieve that one. And when we order one up, the bits will go into here, and you can see from these it's requiring 1 printed silicon, 1 printed logic circuit, and 1 redstone for this one. Obviously the engineering circuit will need a printed engineering circuit, and the calculation circuit will need the calculation processor will need a calculation circuit. But other than that, the printed silicon and redstone is the same for all of those. So everything gets drawn out of here, it gets extracted. The redstone goes in this side here, it's whitelisted there. The printed silicon goes into the bottom of it there, and the top here has the printed logic circuit, calculation circuit, and engineering circuit like that. So regardless of what we order up, the bits will go in there and come in here, and then this stuff is extracted on the brown channel and goes into this interface here, which is just used for drawing the stuff out. We could have had an import bus on there, but it takes up a channel. It doesn't really matter which I use. But the thing is, I had to rewire this stuff because I ran out of channels. I've had to put another interface on here, which used up the last, well, in fact there wasn't a channel for that. So what I've done is I've disconnected this circuit, and in fact it goes underneath here and then goes into the bottom of the controller, because if you have a look, this controller here has got 1, 2, 3 things, and then 4 and 5 hanging off of it. So it then had, oh, hang on, and then 6 and 7 there as well. So yeah, it had 8 and, yeah, it had 8 here, and then I started running out of channels, because you can only have 8 channels running through one of these cables. So yeah, just took some wiring from down below there and ran it underneath, and you can see it goes along here, hooks into this, and also hooks into that as well. So let's get that last circuit that we had. Circuit. No, it's a processor, isn't it? Oh. Processor. There we go. So it's this one, calculation, that I wanted. Calculation goes like that. There we go. Do that. I need to make some more blank patterns, but I need to make some other stuff first. Running out of lots of things at the moment. So there we go. That'll be the last one that goes in there. So now we can make all of those. That should make life a lot easier. Now we're not out the woods yet, because there's other stuff as well. Let's have a look at the 64K thing. So we're good for engineers and processors now. And the calculation processors should be good. Logic processors should be fine. So we're good there. We don't know how to make quartz glass, so let's do that. But we need to make some blank patterns. Blank pattern. There we go. And we're going to need quartz glass for that as well. Great. So to make quartz glass, make a pattern to make a quartz glass, we need to make quartz glass. Let's just make a bunch of that just now, and that will help us. And then let's make a bunch of blank patterns, which will help us. Let's go into here, do that, that, and that. Why don't we make... Really? Let's do that. That can come over here. Put it into here. That will help. So now we can make quartz glass. And now we can make... can we make that? No, we cannot. Because it doesn't know how to make all of these things. Right. So. Nope. Right, so we need a bunch of logic processors. Let's just make process. See when you hit the R when you're mousing over something. Right, so logic processor, let's make 10 of them. It's going to be okay. Yep, we've got all the stuff. And it's going to do that. So it's making the insulated copper cable right now. The problem is we don't have the IC2 machines hooked up at the moment. So we don't have... It can't make copper cables and iron plates at the moment. And the rubber is also a manual step at the moment. But it is doing all the stuff that we need it to do just now. This will get us off the ground just now. Everything seems to be going okay. Quite happy with that. Let's see this thing in action over here. You can see it's busy doing stuff there. And this is happily doing. I'll need to get the acceleration cards. Let's get the acceleration cards from the manual one. Cool. And boop. There we go. That makes life a lot easier. See, it's queuing up all these things in here. And quite happily doing. Excellent. Looks like it's finished. Let's see then about this next step. Let's go and say we want these. Let's make those then. We'll take one of those, two of those, three of those, and we'll go that like that. I think can't really make any more just now. Let's go add these in, that and that there. So we can make 4Ks, is it? No. So now we can make the 4K ones, which means let's make no 4K. Thank you. Let's make just one just now. There we go. Like that. Now we can go put this in. There's a lot of toing and froing here, but it'll be very much worth it in the end. So that's the 16K. Yeah, that's the 16K. Alright, and now we need to make one of those. Okay for all the bits, but we've run out. See, you see. Now, if I make, well, if I make one, no, can't make one. That's irritating. Can I make a 4K? I'll make it. It's not taking. Why is it not taking that? Honestly, there we go. Something very strange happening with that. Let's make 3 of the... No, it's not liking that because it's over that. I need to make myself a crafting... another crafting storage thing. So if I make 2 of them, 2 more 1K crafting storages. Two more of these. Can I make something like that? Nope. I need 2 calculation processors. I need more than that actually. I need 4. Okay. Doing its stuff. Cool. Nearly there. It's got a countdown timer. That will allow me to make that when it comes up. I hope I've got enough. I might want to make... Oh yeah, I've got plenty of logic ones at the moment. There we go. And like that. So I've got 2 of those, and then I want to make the 1K. So make sure the mouse pointer is off that. Right, there we go. There's 1, 2. Cool. Because I want to make 2 because I think these need to be rectangular. When you do it like that, yeah. See how it didn't form properly when it was an L shape? It needs to be a rectangle or a square or a cube or whatever you want. Yeah, cuboid. Right. Now, let's try that again. So we've got 64K. We want to make a 16K. We want to do that. So 16K we want to make. Can we do that? No. We do that. We don't have enough copper cable. Okay, let's get some copper cable. I think I had some on doing. So I grabbed it. Yes, I did. Cool. Not the end of the world. So copper cable in there. 16K. Do like that. Yep. And it's going to be doing a fair bit of stuff, but it is doing okay at the moment. It's going to take just a second to do, but we're getting there. We're getting there. So we're going to soon have the 64K that we need for that. That's doing its stuff in there. It's very cool. So things on our list. Get these hooked in so we can actually do stuff and have the AE2 system making things through here. So I would need to have an extruding one for making cables. I'd also need to have the hammering one for making the plates. The extractor would need to be hooked up so we can make rubber from rubber wood and rubber saplings. That would be fine. How are we getting on? Well, it's done. Cool. Right, so we now have a 16K. Let's go in here and say the 64K is made like that. Now we can make the 64K. Whether or not we've got enough crafting power or storage to do that is a different story. Let's take that out and put it in here so things are a little bit nicer. We've got all the bits there. Yep, that'll work for the moment. I like to try and keep things together like that. Sometimes. Sometimes. Right. So, 64K. Can I make one? No. Oh dear me. Right, let's try and do this again, and I shall increase the size of this thing up a little bit more. Well, here we go. I think I am in a position now to be able to craft this up. And sure enough, I have all the bits. I think I've only got just enough rubber. Let's see. Yeah, it's used up all my rubber. I only had that 144 left. But it is going and doing and crafting all the things now. So that's good. So what I've got here for making these noisy stuff over here, we've got what it's doing. It was doing just, there we go. So printed logic circuits. So this is all nice now, and just one inscriber, which is pretty cool. So yeah, those bits go in the top, redstone in the middle, and the printed silicon in at the bottom. And it fairly rattles through them, so that's good. Quite happy with that, doing that. It's relatively quick. I could obviously make more on the side there, and I do have more because I completely forgot that the printed silicon and the circuit bits that go on the top are all crafted from other things, not using the presses in the normal way. These things that you would have ordinarily used, you can't make them because you need one of these. To make one of these, I suppose there might be some in a quest reward or something. I never really thought to look. Shall we have a look? Shall we have a... Oh, guess I need to reload stuff. There must have been an update that I'd forgotten about, so I'll need to redo that. Right enough, I did get my... I opened up my achievements. I think they've been reset. Yeah, look at that. That's all reset as well. I was doing so well. That's not even opened up. Alright, I'll worry about that later. How are we getting on with this thing? It's still doing. So it's still got 9 of those to make. It's making 6 of those. It's not going to take long though. Yeah, there we go. It's only got 40 seconds left. Didn't think it would take long to do all of this. So we should start being able to get all of this stuff put into that condenser thing, the matter condenser, in short order. Yeah. So we've got the ME export bus for that. It would be nice to be able to have some acceleration cards. Yeah, no, we don't have any, so acceleration cards, please. We don't have any of those, so I'm going to need to make more calculation processors. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to wait until this is finished because I don't want to jigger things. Mind you, it's got all the bits in there. So let's get, I think rubber's going to be our main concern to make the circuits to make that. And this is doing stuff over here. It's already got 28, that should be good. And we'll take that as well. Run away from the noisy machine. I thought I turned off the noisy machine noise, but apparently not. Apparently that's still a thing. Right, so I want calculation processor. Calculation processor, please. And I want 2 lots of that. If I can, please. It is making... Oh, which means, because we've only got one CPU, it must have finished making the other thing. So, there's one. Boop. Next one. Crafting that. Why is it taking so long crafting that? Why is it taking so long? Did it... I bet it's crafting the... Yeah, I think I know what it's done. I'll need to cancel that and try it again. Like that. Has it done it again? Because I'm going to need to work on that actually. Because there's only a chance of each thing giving silicon. Does seem to be doing it a bit better now. Let's see if we can do it now. No. Calculation. Oh no, it made one. It must have just been taking sweet time about it. Okay then. Maybe it was okay in the end. Right, and these. So let's go 1, 2, and 3. Cool, and I want cobblestone. Like that. So no. Oh. And of course, I need the thing that we spent all this time making. Why isn't it? Did I cancel that? Or did it just stop working? I must have accidentally cancelled it. Oh. Seems to be okay. And then that's weird. Yeah, I must have accidentally cancelled it without noticing. Bet you guys all noticed though. Yeah. So 4, 3, long 3, 2, even longer 2, 1, and there we go. No crafting tab active. 164K thingy-mabobber. That goes in there. Condense output into matter balls. Cool. And now that goes on there. Should have enough channels on this side. And let's get that. Let's put that on there. Oh, I could have done another acceleration card. There we go. Cool. And that in there. And now, there we go. Cool. So that's matter balls. Oh, okay. Maybe that's not what I want. Ah, condense into singularities. That's what I want. There we go. So yeah. Cool. Stored energy, and it's going up, so it'll be 256,000. But it's already over 5,000, so it's not going to take very long at all to make one of these singularities. So, as they say, yeah, we'll have a singularity very soon, and we'll be able to link this ME system up into the town, and we'll be able to start utilizing all the stuff that's back here over there, so we won't have so much of an issue of flying back and forth. So I think that's probably a good wrapping up point, as you might have guessed by the third person camera angle. Right, yeah, so I hope you've enjoyed this episode, and I shall see you the next time. Bye bye.